classic physicists, mathematicians with an avid interest, such an interest in the sport of billiards and pool, that he went away and wrote a book. Amazing.
Okay, so that kind of gives it a little more respect than what it occasionally gets today. Because when we think of pool halls, we think of shady characters,
Yes.
you know, and smoke in the air, and somebody about to lose their money, somebody about to get beat up in the back alley, and it cloaks the fact that to be good at this sport, you got to know some science, you got to know some physics, and maybe even a little bit of engineering. And since none of the three of us have this expertise, we combed the landscape and we found the spirit of Minnesota Fast. we found
Minnesota Slim.
We found Dr. David Alciatore. No, Alciatore. Did I pronounce your name right, David?
Pretty close, unless you want to be true to my Italian heritage and say Alciatore.
Yes.
Alciatore. Okay,
Alciatore.
but I know what happened. You spent some time in Texas, and they don't pronounce nothing right in Texas.
Yeah.
So you're retired professor emeritus.
Yes, recently.
Recently, yeah, because you don't look old enough to be like emeritus. At Colorado State University, you got your PhD in mechanical engineering at UT Austin.
Wow.
And okay, here it comes. Ready? Dean and co-founder of, are you seated? Billiards University.
Wow.
There you go.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to tell you something right now, Dave. It sounds a little like Trump University to me.
No, it's just a little. It's just a little.
I'm just saying. I'm
We
just
have a
saying.
line.
No, he didn't mean nothing wrong by it. He's just saying.
We have a line of fine steaks we offer as well.
What happened when you were a kid and you said, "Mom and Daddy, I'm going to start a billiards university"? I don't know how that would have played out back then, but we'll get into that in a minute. So you've got books on topics as varied as mechanotronics. I love that.
Mechatronics, Neil. Mechatronics. Get with the program, man. Get with the program.
Excuse me, mechatronics. What's that about? That sounds like robots that'll take over the world.
It's a more traditional name is electromechanical systems, which is basically a merge of mechanical and electrical engineering with some computer science thrown in.
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. That's because Asana is where humans and AI coordinate work together. AI can spot roadblocks and assign work in a snap, so everything and everyone stays on track. That's how work gets handled. That's Asana. Visit us at asana.com. That's ASANA.com.
Right on.
Okay, and another book, How to Aim Pool Shots. I love that. And you got your own YouTube channel and Facebook page dedicated to pool and billiards. This is wonderful to have you on the show.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks, Neil.
Broadening our sense and understanding of all the cool sports that engage people. So we have like a million questions for you. But let me just start out. Any of us who've heard of Coriolis before, whether or not we knew it was an actual person, we heard of the Coriolis force, which is actually in the category of fictitious forces. It's not an actual force operating. It's just something that looks like a force when you are observing it take place. And so you have a low pressure system, let's say, in weather in the northern hemisphere. And if you have low pressure, that means it's higher pressure in its surroundings. And you have a cloud minding its own business. The high pressure outside of it is going to push it towards the low pressure in the inside. And so all the clouds are going to migrate their way. They want to migrate towards the center. But clouds coming from the south are coming from an area of Earth's surface that is moving faster to the east than the low pressure system it's headed towards. So it overtakes the low pressure system. And clouds coming from the north, headed towards the low pressure system, are coming from parts of Earth's surface that are rotating slower. So they will undertake the system. And so all the clouds end up circulating counterclockwise around that low pressure spot, and bada bing, you get a storm. And all that happens in reverse in the southern hemisphere. Coriolis gave us an understanding of that, and it's beautiful. And maybe you didn't know that the equator moves faster than higher latitudes, all right? Because the Earth does one rotation in a day, and day is what, 24 hours, and it's about 25,000 miles around. So the equator is going about 1,000 miles an hour. In New York City, we're going about 800 miles an hour. You go up to Maine, maybe 700, 600 miles an hour. You go up to Santa Claus, his sideways motion is very low. So all of this contributes to make this fascinating phenomenon. And I once tweeted, and this is the last, I'll shut up after this, that there was a field goal kicked by the Cincinnati Bengals that went 50 yards. It was airborne for several seconds, and it hit the left upright and careened in for the win in overtime. And I quickly calculated that the Coriolis force deflected it about 1/3 of an inch to the right, which could have made the difference between it bouncing off the upright coming forward and boink. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it would have made that sound too. Right. And going in. So in fact, Coriolis force affects everything, whether or not you knew it. And of course, the famous one about which way toilets drain. But that's all BS for another reason. So let me shut up and hear our guest talk about this. Tell me about Coriolis and billiards.
And what's the weather in a billiards hall?
Smoky and dangerous. Yes.
What low pressure system is happening in a billiards hall?
Cloudy with outbreaks of temper.
Yeah, all right.
Well, Neil, I'm glad you dispelled the toilet myth.
Yes. The
Because toilets flush the way they want to flush, whether they're in the northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere.
Exactly. Whichever way the spigots are pointing. Yeah,
right.
whichever way
Exactly.
the spigots are pointing.
There was a great Simpsons episode that featured that fact.
Yeah, The Simpsons has a lot of science and math literacy in it. We had someone who studied the math and physics of The Simpsons on Star Talk a couple of years ago. So that became a whole episode for us. Yeah. So go on. So what can you tell us?
And also, Neil, I'm surprised you didn't mention galaxies, dude.
Well, yeah, so galaxies all rotate, but there's very little motion directly in and out towards the center. So they'll spiral up on you, but Coriolis has less of an effect going on in a galaxy. Just less of an effect.
Yes, good.
Okay.
Yeah, so Coriolis, he wrote this brilliant book in 1835. I didn't see it until 2005 when the English version came out, and that was a year after I wrote my book. And I had done a ton of work, and when I saw Coriolis's volume of excellent work, I was just crushed, and my heart stopped.
Oh, you mean he scooped you?
Yeah, by a couple hundred years.
Wow. Now, wait, did you reach the same conclusions, though, without knowing his work?
Well, other people, I'm not the only one that's done billiard physics. Other people have done stuff, and many people have come close to duplicating much of Coriolis's work. But there's a couple of things we might talk about if we have time that he did, and no one else quite did like he did. And in fact, I honor one of his discoveries with an aiming system I call the Coriolis aiming system. So we should talk about that at some point.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Go ahead.
Hit the button.
Yeah, no time like the present, right?
All right,
Wait. I spent so much time explaining the Coriolis effect that
Yes.
I ate up a lot of the time of this segment. Let me, before we take a break, because I want to get to what you described, could you let me know if in this first book that you wrote, Mechatronics,
Are you the kind of person who knows things? Things like you can get a domain from Squarespace, not just a website? Well, now you are that person, because now you definitely know you can get a domain from Squarespace. Something like whisperingbloom.com for your silent retreat, or whisperingboom.com for your shouting retreat. Whatever your dream, a Squarespace domain and website brings it to life, all in one place. Get yours before it's gone with offer code MAKEITREAL for 10% off your domain or website. Terms and conditions apply.
could you devise a mechanical system that could play a perfect billiard game without anyone's intervention? In the same way we can make machines that solve Rubik cubes and machines that drive cars, can you do one where it's going to sink the ball every single time?
Yes, people have done this. Now, they're not good enough yet. They're far from a good player.
Right.
But there are many robots that have been built that can use vision systems, a camera, to see where the balls are, position itself.
It would know exactly where the ball is, right? If you got high-res
yeah.
camera, yeah.
Yes, exactly. So they can see better than we can see, but they can't stroke as well as we can, and they can't plan as well as we do either.
Right.
You might think the planning piece, I think, can be there soon, but the work that's been done already in that regard, the planning is not quite there. The shot making's not quite there.
So just to be clear, when you say the planning, it means when I hit the ball, where the balls end up after my successful shot will matter for my next shot.
Bingo.
The
that's
next
what
shot will matter.
That's what the whole
leave.
game is. The leave,
Yeah.
man. It's all about positioning. You got to play the position game.
You got it, Chuck. You got to make that shot, but you got to make
Chuck-
the cue ball go to where a place where the next shot's going to be easy.
Right?
Chuck, why are you this fluent in this? I thought you.
Like I told you, man, could have bought a house with all the money I lost. It was a very expensive education. Very expensive education.
All right. When we come back, we'll come back with one of the world's experts on how billiards work on Star Talk. We're back, Star Talk Sports Edition, all about billiards, the physics of billiards. Of course, that's how we roll on Star Talk.
I see what you did there.